Hiya, happy 2022 and welcome to what is hopefully going to be my finishing my novel writing vlog. I am really excited. I am hoping to be filming this over the next 2 months while I prioritize my novel over anything else. So if you saw my last video, you'll know that I'm actually taking a break from making videos during January and February, excluding this one of course. Oh shit. So as I was saying, I'm hoping to use the time in which I normally would be making videos and move that towards actually writing my book. So normally I think we're gonna have to turn the light off, okay? Right, so I'm hoping that now I'm not spending 5 to 10 hours a week on filming and editing YouTube videos. I can put that towards my writing and that will help me actually finish my book in a reasonable time span. I don't even have that much left. I am currently well into Act 3 and this is my progress at the minute. I should probably point out it's actually the 2nd of January today because you can't expect me to go to bed at like 2 a.m. on New Year's Eve and be a functioning human on the 1st of January. So we're just pretending that yesterday didn't exist. But yeah, I'm starting both the vlog and like writing again today. Yesterday was actually the first day during my entire Christmas holiday during which I didn't write for a full hour. So for context, I'm currently in Spain visiting my family for 3 weeks. I have 1 week left of that. And then I'll be back in England and I'll be working full time again. So I've been doing quite a lot during the time I was here. I've been spending most of my time with family and prioritizing that. But I also did have some space to do some writing, and because I wasn't also working, I had a lot more mental space for it. So like even if the amount of time I'm spending is about the same as I would in England, I have a lot more energy for it, and the time that I spend I work a lot more focused and faster, and it's just been a lot better. So I'm really hoping to get as much writing in as I can during this first week during which I'm still on holidays, because I'm gonna need it, let's be honest. So I already got in like half an hour of writing this morning before anyone in the house was awake, and it was really good. I was working on that first chapter. I've been really struggling with that one, but I think I might have gotten there, but I'm not marking it in green yet because I want to read it again in a couple of days and see that I still think that it's good. We're actually going hiking in about an hour, but I think I've got just enough time to squeeze in a little bit more writing on that second chapter, which I haven't touched in a while. But yes, I guess I'll just keep you updated on how everything goes as the 2 months progress. I haven't done a writing vlog in a while, so this feels weird. See you. Hi again. I'm really sorry for the background noise if there is any, but I am leaving to the airport in less than an hour, so I don't really have the luxury of waiting for it to stop. So it's the 7th of January right now, and I just wanted to real quick catch you up on how much I did while I was in Spain before I leave Spain again and have to work and inevitably get a lot slower. Hi, I'm just gonna very quickly interrupt the video to tell you that I forgot to update you on what I actually did and instead got panicky about how much I had left to do. So here's the actual update. I managed to finish the 2nd chapter down the outline and then spent most of the week working on the 3rd chapter, which I am very stuck on, as you will see for the rest of the video. Enjoy, bye bye. So I did say I wanted to make sure I was ahead by the end of this week. Turns out I'm behind by a lot. It's not even that I haven't been writing, like I have been doing an hour to an hour and a half, sometimes even more than that. And I'm just really behind and slow, and I think I just always overestimate how fast I can write, like I'm not that fast. So I don't think I mentioned this in the introduction, but I am currently participating in this event that my friend Katie is organizing called NaNoWriMo. This will be very much over by the time this video goes up, but she has this really handy spreadsheet. But what this tells me is, according to the goal that I set, I need to be writing a chapter every 3 days, and I've written 1 chapter. I'm supposed to be finishing the 3rd one tomorrow, and 2 of them were already almost written at the start of January. Yeah, it's not going well. I'm also not holding up my hopes very much for next week because it's gonna be my first week back to work and I'm gonna be taking it a little bit slower and trying not to immediately burn out again. But I'm also getting my booster shot on Saturday next week. And judging by my previous vaccines, I'm gonna be out of action for the entire weekend. So like, I'm losing an entire week here if I don't do anything. I'm gonna be so behind by the end of January, oh my god. The silver lining here is that I do have a 4-hour flight ahead of me. So maybe I can catch up during those 4 hours. I'm really, really tired. And if the flight is busy, I already know I'm just gonna be stressed about people, because I don't deal well with people these days. So I'm probably not gonna be able to concentrate. But maybe I can do like a little bit. We'll see. Like, I sort of have to. If I don't write at least one chapter during the flight, there is no way I'm ever catching up again now that I'm starting work. Yeah. So it's currently Friday, which means that I've been back from the UK and back at work for about a week. I also managed to forget my tripod in Spain, which is why we're sitting on the floor at the minute. Writing has been going okay. I feel like okay is not the right word for it, because it's been going either extremely well or extremely badly, and I keep flip-flopping between the two. In terms of my actual progress, I have not made any progress since my last update a week ago. I have been trying. I did some writing on the flight, but not as much as I wanted to, because I got really stuck with that third chapter. And then I actually did do some writing from Monday to Friday this week, or from Monday to Thursday. I haven't done anything today yet. Obviously not as much as I was doing when I was in Spain, but at least like we're doing something. Progress is being made in some form, even if it's not in any way visible from any of these graphs. My main problem at the minute is this third chapter is just feeling a little bit disjointed. I normally try and keep chapters to 1 scene, maybe 2 scenes if I need it. And this one is currently at 5 scenes, I think. And they're all very short and very disjointed. And the only bit that's actually in my outline is the ending of this chapter, which I haven't written yet. But we gotta get there. Like, the problem is that the previous chapter, they were in one location. And then the outline says, okay, they have to be in this location for a fight. And I can't just make them teleport, like, getting there is kind of important. But it's really, really boring. And supposedly one of the reasons that I set myself this very hard deadline of February is because I know I've been letting my perfectionism take over, and I've been editing things far too much when I shouldn't be. And I do want to have a polished draft at the end of this. I don't want this to be at first draft level, because it's not. It's my second rewrite. And 3 years per chapter just hasn't felt like enough at the minute, but I know that it should be enough if I was actually writing the chapter and not self-doubting myself over the chapter every time I sit down to write it. So I really think my current cycle of writing really slowly is partially just my own ego wanting this draft to be perfect when it shouldn't be. And there's also this other factor involved that I haven't mentioned yet. If you've watched my previous videos, you probably know by now that my boyfriend is my critique partner, and that he normally goes through each of my chapters one by one and sort of helps me perfect them as we go. And he's not doing that anymore. He's a PhD student and his thesis is due fairly soon, and he's just been working weekends and evenings for the past month. So this is not something that he realistically has the time to help me with anymore, at least for now. He has mentioned that he's gonna look at the chapters later on, but obviously it's not gonna be to the same degree of detail if I've already written all of them. And this makes me feel uncomfortable, because I do want to send this draft, or at least next draft once I've revised it a little bit, to beta readers, and I at least can really tell the difference in the chapters that I've done by myself and the chapters that my boyfriend's helped me out with. And it's even worse now that I'm actually rushing through these last ones and trying to get them all out every 3 days and actually finish and get to the end of the book, so that I can have a finished draft to revise and not just do it a chapter a month sort of pace. But yeah, this is something that's been making me feel a little bit self-doubty, because if people read this draft, I'm worried that they're gonna think that because of the previous chapters being so much better than the final chapters that I'm doing by myself, that this wasn't my own work, that this was me relying far too heavily on my boyfriend, which, to be fair, I am relying far too heavily on my boyfriend. I should be able to do this by myself. But at the same time, no one can write a book by themselves, and it's okay to have critique partners and to ask help with plot holes and things. So I think I'm just completely overthinking this, and no one's actually going to judge me for this, but I think this is part of the reason that I've been still over-editing my chapters even after giving myself this hard deadline, and I should not be doing that, because I'm never going to finish by February if I continue doing that. But yeah, with this in mind, I really want to push myself a little bit harder this weekend and attempt to actually accomplish something. I think my goal is gonna be to finish both chapters that are currently in progress so that I can just start on the next chapter on Monday. I am getting my booster shot tomorrow, so that is gonna be difficult if I just completely collapse and die for half of the weekend, but this is why I want to get a really good head start tonight and try and get a bit of work done. And then I also have tomorrow morning, and then if side effects kick in, that might just be it, and then I'll just sleep for the rest of the weekend, but hopefully that's not gonna happen. I just smashed my elbow against the door frame trying to get myself into this room and setting up the camera because I was so sleepy and was walking around with my eyes half closed, so this day is already going great. Hi, it is Saturday the 20-somethingth. I forgot to check the date before I pressed record. Now, if I remember correctly, last time I made a promise that I was gonna finish both chapters I had in progress during the weekend. It is now 1 weekend later and I finished neither of them. I have, however, figured out what was bothering me about this third chapter down the line, which I've just been stuck on for ages, and I basically decided that I am going to rewrite it from scratch because I can't help myself, apparently. And basically what I realized is I'm just cramming too much information into the same chapter, and it's ended up being very telly because I have too many things to show everything that I want to show. So I'm gonna be turning in 2 chapters, but what I'm doing is moving some character arc stuff from a later chapter and this 8 chapter outline and putting it there, and then cutting that chapter, which I was already thinking kind of doesn't need to be there. There was just this one bit that I needed from it. So basically nothing has changed. I still have the same 8 chapters to write. But now there's an extra one in progress just because I've been writing them in parallel because I thought they were just one chapter to begin with. Yeah, but in terms of actual progress, no, I have not completed any chapters. Yes, I am intending on completing some of them this weekend. Let's see how that goes. However, I've realized that this weekend I am not on my period, not having vaccine side effects. I did have a bit of a cold yesterday, but I think I'm basically over it now and I'm feeling 95% healthy. So there's no reason why I shouldn't actually spend the entire weekend writing. So I want to challenge myself to do a 10-hour writing weekend over the next 2 days. That means 5 hours a day, which is really not that much, seeing as I have nothing else to do this weekend. And as a little bit of extra motivation, since the only other thing I wanted to work on was crochet, I am going to be rewarding myself with 15 minutes of crochet for every hour of writing that I do. So if I actually do the full 10 hours, I will be doing 2.5 hours of crochet on top of that, which is exciting. I am halfway through a project at the minute. So I guess I'm just gonna write for 10 hours straight and see how it goes. It's been a really long time since I've done that, but it's also been a really long time since I had nothing else to do in a weekend. So wish me luck. Hi, yeah, it is Monday the 24th, and I thought I'd give you a quick update on how the weekend went. Didn't get around to doing one last evening. I didn't do my 10 hours of writing, but I did manage 7, which is close enough, I think. I'm proud of that. But more importantly, I actually managed to finish a chapter, which means that my NaNoWriMo graph is no longer a straight line. Proud of that. Unfortunately, the chapter I finished was that first one, which was almost done anyway. So out of the 7 hours that I spent working, 1 of them was on that chapter and the other 6 was on the 3rd chapter down the list. The good news is I am really happy with how it's changed and how it's progressing. The bad news is that I've decided to rewrite it all again from scratch. But it's fine because it's gonna be much better this time. Yes. I mean, seeing as I'm gonna fail NaNoWriMo anyway, I might as well indulge myself and rewrite the chapter one more time, but then that's it. I'm not allowed to rewrite it again after this one. So despite having invested 6 hours in the version that I was working on over the weekend, I just think that this new one is gonna be so much better, and I am building on top of what I already have, so it's not a complete waste of 6 hours. But yeah, I actually have a single week left in January, and I wanted to finish the entirety of part 8, which is not gonna happen anymore, but I'm hoping I'll still be able to get halfway there. We'll see how it goes. Either way, I have this week, I think I just have today and Friday to work on my book, and then the weekend again. I think I'm gonna do the 10 hours thing again over the weekend because I thought that went really well. So I better get straight to writing before I run out of time, and I will tell you how it goes. It's the 31st of January, and by extension, the end of January. So over the last few days, I've managed to finish the 3rd chapter, which is the one that I've been working for literally the entire month. So I finished that up on Saturday, and then today I managed to finish the 4th chapter. The 4th chapter was a lot easier because it was the second part of the 3rd chapter. It then broke into 2, but it was already basically written, and I was a lot happier with that second half than I was with the first half. So fortunately I was able to finish that up in 2 days, and at least I've managed to get halfway through part 8 in January. I was intending on using this vlog for the entire 2 months during which I finish my book, but I'm starting to realize that it's gonna be like 3 hours long. So I think what I'm gonna do is break it off here, and then next week you will be seeing part 2. And fingers crossed that there won't be a part 3. So yeah, before I head off and start filming part 2, I wanted to really quickly show you my NaNoWriMo stats again, as well as my time tracking stats for the month. And I'm actually really proud of these. I know that the main reason I've been able to do so much on my book is because I haven't been making videos, and it really shows. I think I've managed to do 36 hours this month, which is more than 1 hour a day. Which is insane. I haven't written that much in ages. And I was actually really surprised when I looked at this. The start of the month, when I was on holidays, I was actually writing less than I have been in the last couple of weeks. And I think that's because now that I'm back at work, I'm still doing my usual 10 to 15 hours of passion projects a week outside of work. Except none of that is going to YouTube, so it's all going towards my writing, and it's insane how much more time I've had to write. At the same time, I do really miss it. I am excited to edit videos again soon, and I keep having to stop myself from editing this one. I'm quite proud of the 4 chapters I've managed to write this month, and it is more than I usually would write, but at the same time, it's not even close to my goal of finishing the entirety of part 8 and outlining part 9, which I was gonna get done in January. I think that's fine though, because I've slowly been getting used to writing from Monday to Friday as well as on the weekends. I find it less exhausting now that I've gotten used to that again. It took some doing, but I think we're slowly getting there now. So I think February is gonna be okay, but I guess you get to find out next week if it is okay or not. I've still got quite a lot of work ahead of me to actually finish draft 3 of this book, so wish me luck, and I will see you next week, I guess. Have a wonderful week. Bye bye.